If you're not familiar with it, Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James, been going back and forth on social media, all of this stuff. So I'm about to watch a couple of videos just to get it, their point of views and stuff like that. We're going to break down what's going on. Apparently, it started by LeBron approaching Stephen A. on the sideline of a game and saying pretty much, I'm talking about my son, stuff like that. So Stephen A. didn't like it. He went to his First Take show, talk about it, podcast, talk about it. I think Stephen A. a little hurt from it, but we better see.
Brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh, yeah, we're watching it. We're also, you're seeing it as well.
He literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait till the video to drop so you can address it, it's your ass. Like, seriously, never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game.
I feel like Stephen A. is, I don't know if he's a LeBron hater. I feel like he's one of those people where like he'll give LeBron certain credit, but won't give him the rest. Oh, he's a great father. He's a great man. He's a great athlete. He's a great, like, these are all things we fucking know already. Like, we can watch that and see how good of a player he is and all that stuff. After all of this drama, the criticism's gotten worse, man.
So LeBron James decides who really, outside of his crew, doesn't really have any friends in the media. Suddenly, he's going to be in Indianapolis driving.
Here we go. We're already taking shots. Not sure why he needs to have friends in the media. Not sure why that's even relevant. But okay.
The country and go and do a show that comes on immediately after First Take. Wasn't it you who said that Bronny James was better than some players in the NBA right now before he was even drafted? Wasn't it you who said, if you want me, draft my son because you wanted to play with your son for 1 year? Wasn't it you who literally circumvented meritocracy within the National Basketball Association and got the entire media world in the NBA and, of course, the Lakers organization to buy in on that? LeBron James did all of that. That is the person I was talking about as a father, not the father in Brentwood or Bel Air.
That does have something to do with the game. But that's also him just being a good dad trying to get his kid a spot, like other fathers have gotten their kid a spot. Media today as a whole has been getting bad in covering the league. So I don't know if this is just all coming out on Stephen A. and it's a lot of people that should be addressed, but I do feel like y'all talking way too much about shit that don't matter with the league. I feel like this is an overall criticism of the league. Like, you guys are talking about shit that don't even, y'all talking about was AD holding the Lakers back. Why is that a segment, bro? I don't hear shit about the Cavs, like, barely. Y'all say y'all talk about them barely. Y'all really not talking about OKC and Shea like that. Y'all really not breaking down, like, even with the Cavs. Don't just talk about the Cavs. Talk about the makeup of the team and how it's working in these players, these starters, that's actually making it go further. When you talk about OKC, don't just talk about Shea, because he's not just the only one on there. The reason that they had his record, were they like 62-12 or something like that, or 60-12 or something like that? Like, it's not just one person. So talk about the whole team, talk about the coach, talk about this. No, y'all rather still talk about LeBron, Luka, the Lakers, which is all the same shit at the end of the day. AD, who not even playing at the end of the day. He might be coming back, I don't know. But what are we talking about? Y'all want to talk about that? Y'all not talking about how the Rockets are number 2 and it switches with the Grizzlies, or how it's switching with this and this, like those next couple teams are all in. No, y'all rather talk about the Lakers and the Lakers. And whenever y'all ever hit the East, is Boston or some other people that don't matter because they injured or ain't playing well. Like, y'all really not covering the sport. Y'all talk, and the only reason y'all probably talk about Boston because they was the recent champions. Like, that's it. Y'all just talking about bullshit, man. Y'all not. Sorry, that's my little rant going on about how y'all covering the league. I feel like y'all doing a piss poor job. You're not really talking about shit that matter. Y'all talk about Zion's weight. Y'all talk about, like, let motherfuckers in a barbershop discuss that. Like, y'all supposed to be getting paid millions of dollars to cover the sport, not the drama of it, just the game of it. But whatever.
Wherever else he has homes. I'm talking about the father that shows up at Crypto.com arena. Last time I checked, Bronny James is a professional basketball player. LeBron James went on national television yesterday and lied. He said that I have no problem with you talking about the game. What did I say about Bronny James other than at the time he wasn't ready? That was it. I said nothing else. So if that's the issue, and I pointed to LeBron James and the fact that you've circumvented a meritocracy just to get your wish at the expense of the credibility of the league in a lot of people's eyes, that's talking about you. That's not talking about your son.
Okay, but wait, hold on. Just a little pushback, and I'm okay to be wrong with this. When you say he's not ready, you're talking about the second round 55 pick is not ready because of what? Like, compared to other 55 picks? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are we comparing him to? A third-year player, fourth-year player, a veteran, an all-star, superstar? Like, he's not ready for what? And now you see they put him in that G League. You know, they doing what they do. Hey, go here, figure it out here, play it, get your feet wet, play around with it, come back, Now he's playing. He's saying he's playing pretty good for a rookie. So now, and I think Stephen A. Just said this recently. He kind of walked it back, and he like, yeah, you are playing pretty good. Like, I take it back. He's looking good. If he keeps playing like that, right? Because one game is not going to determine anything. But if he keeps playing like that, okay. So it's like, let them play. But you're not covering the game. You're just covering the drama of it. You're just covering what, like, man, stop it.
McAfee show about 10 days earlier or whatever. Rich Paul, for everybody that knows, is the man, the founder of Clutch Sports. He's a strategic thinker. He didn't go there by accident. You're there talking with Pat McAfee, and the next thing you know, within 2 weeks, after obviously a negotiation took place, LeBron James was on it. We know a negotiation took place because we understand that since LeBron had uninterrupted, or whatever the hell it was called, he's been about control. He's been about making sure that things are his way. Us, as the media members, know it because of how his
How's this covering the league, bro? Like, you could do this type of shit on your podcast. You have a huge podcast to talk like this. Why are you doing it on First Take if First Take is supposed to be dedicated to covering the league? You're going to do this, and guess what you're going to do on your podcast? You probably going to say the same shit. You're probably going to get more in depth. It's going to be more vulgar. You know, you got a little bit more freedom there. It's not Disney. It's your own shit.
In the aftermath of that interview, what does he do? He puts out some page about me, boxing, and all of this other stuff from a decade ago with 2 torn rotator cuffs. Fine, no problem. It's a very, very embarrassing video. I'll be the first to say and all that stuff, even though I like it to be left up there. Because if people think I want to throw hands like that, that's how I throw hands, knock yourself out. I'm good with it. I know that the man I am today is not the man that I was a decade ago, physically or beyond. I can tell you that. You're LeBron James. You that butt hurt over the things that I'm saying, that you would post that video? When has LeBron James ever done something like that?
I mean, both of y'all probably are. And after 22 years of like the type of criticism, yeah, I mean, what the fuck you talking about? Like, oh, you and your feelings, I've been talking shit for 22 years. Listen, what you should do, Stephen A. good cutback would be to film a boxing video of today. And just really like on some Mayweather shit. That'd be good. That'd be good for media.
Could it be because I don't believe you're the GOAT? Because I'll never believe you're the GOAT? Because I have you number 2 at all times? Do I have to have ESPN and First Take put up the ticker tape right now and say, yo, could you put that up there, please? Great father, great husband, great philanthropist, great businessman, great director, great producer, great host, great basketball player, great leader. I mean, my God, I have done everything but put diapers and a bib on this brother. But it ain't enough because one thing matters.
But you just said a whole bunch of shit, and I think one thing related to basketball. And that, like, what do you mean great father, great podcaster, great businessman? Like, what are we talking about, man? You covered the sport of basketball, and the out of all those shit you just named was like great player, and great player is an understatement.
To him and one thing only, and that's him being recognized as the greatest of all times. Well, you're not in my book. That belongs to Michael Jordan. Where would I get that from? Decades after Michael Jordan has retired, while LeBron James is still playing. And LeBron James is still 2 titles shy of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is 6. LeBron James has 4. He does have as many finals losses as Michael Jordan has wins. He has 6.
Yeah, but again, I mean, do we really got to discuss how that's more of a team accolade? Like, do we really got to go through it? Do we really got to talk about his losses? The only one you can give him is a Dallas loss. Dallas and Miami. Really, we giving him when he was on Cleveland that first time and got swept by the Spurs? Really, we giving him when he made it the first year going against the Warriors and didn't have Kyrie or Kevin Love? Really, and you'd be hard pressed to name me the other starting 5 at that point. Really, you gonna name when he had to go up against KD? Was it twice? And the Warriors, with everybody just considered that league a wash, like that year a wash because they just had it locked up. This is the difference. You're the analyst. You're the guy. I'm the guy that's supposed to just look at the numbers and be like, oh, he only got this many rings. You're the person that's supposed to break it down to that next level. They pay you the big bucks for that.
Finals losses. He has 4 championships. Let me continue. Michael Jordan, NBA Finals MVP, 6, the most all time. LeBron James, 4, despite having played a minimum of 7 more seasons than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, regular season MVP, 5, tied for second all time with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. LeBron James, 4. Once again, he comes up short to Michael Jordan. All NBA first team, 10 of 15 seasons, 67% for Michael Jordan, 59%, 13 of 22 for LeBron James over the course of 22 years. Defensive Player of the Year, Michael Jordan captured that once. That has never been an honor bestowed upon LeBron James. All NBA defensive first team, 9, tied for most all time to LeBron James, 5. He's still 4 short despite having a minimum of 7 more seasons. Scoring titles, 10-1. LeBron James does have an assist title. Michael Jordan never did that. Michael Jordan led the league in steals on 3 occasions. He's had 9 NBA record 9 game-winning buzzer beaters. LeBron, as of last night, has 8. So still in your 22nd season, you haven't caught up to Michael Jordan, okay? What I'm saying to you is that these are basketball things that I'm mentioning. Who got personal? And we don't want to bring up the fact that he was the one that said on the record, my son is better than some NBA players right now. You want me?
Damn it, what's wrong with that? You got to cover everything the man say, even if it's being a father? So if the man say, I got the best looking wife in the world, you got to bring that on ESPN and well, let's discuss it. You can't even pick up your son no more.
Draft my son. We want to conveniently forget that. I'm not doing that. I cover this sport. This is what I do. And if LeBron James wants to see
You cover drama.
me continue to cover the sport, or he wants to have a problem with me continuously cover the sport, but LeBron James at the end of the day wants to come at me, and he's walking around pouting. Why would he be pouting? The man is 22. He is universally recognized as the Mount Rushmore of basketball.
Man, all y'all do is talk about this man. That's why he pouting, bro. Like, it's a lot of other great teams in the league right now that you could be talking about. In the West, there are like 4 teams fighting for the same spot, with one other team ahead of them by like 10 games. And what are we talking about? Like, it's so much shit to talk about in the league, and y'all keep talking about LeBron. Y'all find a way to bring it back to LeBron. That's probably another reason why LeBron, like, bro, you motherfuckers talking about Bronny James. Look, even if he's not performing well, that's all more reason to not talk about him. Like, you only talking about him because he's the son of LeBron. If it was another 55 pick that was getting playing time, was performing badly, you wouldn't say nothing. Like, you just mentioned it because it's my kid. It's like, oh, well, you said he's better than everybody. Who gives a fuck what I said? I could say fucking Eric Snow was the greatest player of all time. Like, you gonna cover it? They might. If LeBron said it, they might. They might be like, what's wrong with it? Like, wasn't y'all covering the Kyrie saying flat earth shit on ESPN? Like, why? What are y'all talking about? Like, what? You're not talking about basketball.
Basketball. I have him top 2. Stab me in the chest. Crucify me. Throw me in jail. Of the thousands upon thousands of players who have played in NBA history, I have this man number 2 overall in the history of basketball, despite Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being a 19-time All-Star, a 6-time champion, a 6-time league MVP. It was the greatest, the most trusted move, offensive move in NBA history with the skyhook. I still had him ahead of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's not enough. So much so that you go this route.
But you act like that's a hard thing to do. Who the fuck don't at least put him 2? Like that, I'm not saying everybody will. I'm just saying like that's a common consensus. That's not like going against the grain. You saying that like somebody should give you a cookie for putting him number 2. We debating on why you might want to put him number 2 and if it's fair. And if people want to put him second, like that's cool. I don't give a fuck. Some of these basketball players, I mean, I kind of understand it too. They probably felt like, bro, y'all criticized us so fucking long and y'all don't even know what the fuck y'all be talking about. Y'all be getting secondhand information. It's the same thing that happened with Stephen A and Jaylen Brown. Like y'all get all this secondhand information and talking about some, oh, I heard it from this pro. This was going around the league, blah, blah, blah. And the worst thing about it is, one, you're not going to say who your sources is. I get that as a journalist. But 2, you're the one who put it on the airways, right? Even if that is the talk, you're the one who put it out there for the masses. I don't know, criticizing my game when you never played on this level, like you never played on a high level. So to call somebody a bum or to call somebody trash or to look at people's numbers and not even understand, I'm not talking about how the game is played, but like the intricacies of a specific team, right? Because every team is doing something differently. Like, you're not in every one of these locker rooms knowing exactly what every team is doing. First of all, it's not enough time. You cover every fucking sport, right? Baseball. I know you do some football. Like, how the fuck you might do boxing, UFC, whatever may come up. You're not even caring about half of these teams. So I know you're not in these locker rooms talking to these players and doing stuff like that. You're really not doing that. And now with the emergence of like players coming out and just, they're like, hey, shit, if you can make all this money to talk about us, I definitely can make all this money just talking about me. You know what I mean? And establishing that connection with the audience.
But when you come into this lane, my brother, it's the equivalent of me stepping on a basketball court, going up against you, asking you not to shoot it.
It's really not. It's not the equivalent. Him coming into that lane, he can move you out on the strength of, when these people want to hear about basketball, why the fuck would I want to hear from not even secondhand, third hand source? Or I could just hear it directly from the source. I can hear stories about the game. I can hear aspects of the game that you can't tell me because you haven't played on, 1, the NBA level, 2, not just on the NBA level. We're talking about elite level of the Kobe's, of the Jordans, of the LeBrons. Like, that's a whole nother level to play in the NBA. No, it's not the same. It's not the same. You going out there to shoot a jump shot in the NBA game is not the same.